Breaking news, it is Spencer Rattler time in New Orleans. Ladies and gentlemen, reported today, Spencer Rattler, Saints rookie quarterback, 5th-round pick. Spencer Rattler will get the start. He gets the nod. Spencer Rattler is your starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints this Sunday against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Dome as Derek Carr deals with a tear in his oblique. Whew, doesn't sound good. Like the great Samuel L. Jackson once said, ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your butts. Michael Jackson also said, hold on to your butts, but he meant it in a very, very different way. And when I look in that mirror, ladies and gentlemen, that man in the mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest quarterback of all, this Sunday is Spencer Rattler. What the hell am I talking about? Good question. I might have had too many cups of coffee. The future is now. The future is now. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Spencer Rattler's here. And we could, this has been a pretty quick news cycle. We could go on and on and on about how the development this and the development that, and doesn't really matter. Why? Because he's starting. Why? Because we have to win. Why? Because the New Orleans Saints have to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Denver Broncos on Sunday and Thursday to keep the season afloat. So all the talk about the development and whatnot, throw it out the window. Because Spencer Rattler was selected to start this game because the coaching staff believes that he is the best chance we have to victory. That's it. If we were 5-0, if we were 4-1, 3-2 even maybe you do start Haener and say, look, Jake, just figure it out. Win one of the two games. Keep us afloat here. We have some wiggle room. We don't have wiggle room. Also, let me pat myself on the back. When I told y'all, it's funny, because I have a short out there somewhere where I said that if the Saints draft a quarterback, Jake Haener will be moved to the back of the line. And after Haener came in against Kansas City, someone went and found that, commented and said, how do you feel now? And I tried to explain that doesn't mean anything, that that game was over. Haener was in there for just mop-up duty. But lo and behold, I was right again. For all the Jake Haener faithful, I hope he finds a spot or whatever, but Spencer Rattler is the guy. He is who this franchise sees moving forward as the future. And like I said, we're going to get a good glimpse of that future in a couple of days here. Because if he comes out there and Spencer Rattler goes full Ian Book, and trust me, you don't ever want to go full Ian Book. If he goes full Ian Book, bad news bears. The Saints don't have a short-term answer, and they don't have a long-term answer. So there is a lot riding on this. This is high risk, high reward. Because on the flip side, if Spencer Rattler goes out there and dominates, if he goes out there and looks like C.J. Stroud last year, or Jaden Daniels this year, or Cam Newton his rookie year, there is a Tom Brady when he subbed in for Drew Bledsoe. There is a ton of examples of this working out when no one on earth expected them to succeed. I'm not saying that any of those examples are similar to Rattler. The whole point is it's a relative unknown of how this player will perform, and then they surpass all expectations. It happens. But James, what about the offensive line? Kevin Cole, my guy. Pass blocking rankings for great rookie seasons. 2023, C.J. Stroud had the 19th best pass blocking ranking. Justin Herbert, 2020, had the 30th. Watson, in limited sample in 2017, had the 32nd. Dak in 2016 had the 14th. Andrew Luck in 2012 had the 22nd. 2011, Cam Newton had the 23rd. Obviously, it helps. Ladies and gentlemen, obviously it helps to have a really good offensive line in front of a rookie quarterback, but it doesn't happen all the time, and sometimes those rookie quarterbacks succeed even when they don't have that offensive line. So just because the Saints' offensive line has been bad doesn't mean Rattler will fail either. It is a difficult spot. Talked about that yesterday. It is or this morning, or maybe yesterday. Who even knows? It's a really difficult spot. You're playing Todd Bowles. You're playing a guy who notoriously has been trouble for rookie quarterbacks, and they're seemingly getting healthy. Not good. The Saints are just for any rookie quarterback. It's a difficult ask, especially if you factor in Tampa's been sitting in New Orleans since Tuesday. So they're there. They're in the city. They're about as acclimated. Now, you could also argue, well, you're sleeping in a hotel for 5-6 days. That isn't really awesome. True. That good point. And not to mention, New Orleans is not exactly the best city to be in if you've got time to kill and you are a millionaire. I'll tell you that much. It's a bad city to be in if you have time to kill and you have about $8 and the Cat's Meow is doing 3 for $1. Whoo! If you've never been to the Cat's Meow, and this isn't sponsored, if you've never been to the Cat's Meow for 3 for $1, a lot of places do. I think Razoo's also does a 3 for $1. Down on Bourbon Street, it'll change your life. 3 for $1. I'm not talking just beer. You get a vodka soda, that bartender's throwing 3 at you. What are you going to do with 3 vodka sodas? Only one answer. It's tough. It's not fun walking around with 3 beers either. You look ridiculous. So, anyways, like I said, New Orleans being there for a whole week, positives and negatives for Tampa Bay. I'm excited. Now, let's talk about Rattler. Okay, so in preseason, Rattler showed some really good signs. Like, his arm talent, really good. He showed some athleticism. He showed some poise. He showed the moment wasn't too big. I thought he looked good. I mean, he didn't look like a starting quarterback in the NFL, but he was, it's his preseason. He's a rookie. Rattler's got a ton of reps. I mean, Rattler played in the Senior Bowl. Rattler did full rookie minicamp, full training camp, full off season, played in the preseason, got extensive work there. So Rattler is not in that world, he's not Ian Book. You know, the fact that Ian Book was just kind of there, thrown into a situation. You know, Rattler, he at least has had some dry runs. At least has had a dress rehearsal for the situation. And he's kind of, as far as like the makeup, he's kind of like the perfect guy for this situation. You got a highly touted guy with a lot of moxie, who's not afraid of the moment, who has been in big moments in his career, who has had success in those big moments, who has faced adversity, who has played behind a poor offensive line in every single place he's played in, including the preseason. He's tasted success in some form at every level. Like I said, he has the arm to make every throw. Haener is very limited arm-wise, very limited physically. He tried to change that with a couple of trips to GNC, but Rattler is not. Rattler can make every throw that Carr can make. I mean, I'm not going to say Rattler is as good as Carr or whatever, but arm-wise, physically, there's nothing Rattler can't do. You could also argue that maybe a more mobile quarterback, maybe more of an athletic quarterback who doesn't really kind of know any better, who's just out there playing, isn't afraid of the pressure, isn't afraid of the moment, just out there winging it. Maybe that is good for this situation. Like, maybe that does give the Saints offense a little something that is missing. Now, the next level of this is Clint Kubiak. How good is Clint Kubiak? We have seen really, really good offensive minds, Kevin O'Connell and Matt LaFleur. You know, when their back's against the wall and they got a scheme, they have schemed some absolute suckbag quarterbacks to success. Malik Willis, Josh Dobbs, Nick Mullins. I mean, some absolute scrubs. Straight up scrub daddies and scrub mamas, okay? And they've schemed them to success because they are that good. Clint Kubiak, can he do that? We'll see. But I feel much more comfortable with Clint Kubiak trying to do that than Pete Carmichael last year or a lot of other OCs in the NFL. I think Kubiak can do it. We have no choice but to be wholly positive in this situation as a Saints fan. I mean, it's crazy because if you go across all the possible scenarios, if you go across all the possible iterations of this, you could land anywhere on the roulette wheel, and I'd believe you. If you told me Rattler has the best 2-3 games a rookie quarterback has ever had, he throws for 450 yards and the offense is clicking, and we go 3-0, if you told me that, I'd believe you. If you told me Rattler goes 12 for 27 with 3 interceptions and throws for 115 yards, I'd believe you. Like, it's so volatile, this situation. It could go anywhere. We could. It's one of those things where Haener could start Thursday, or Rattler could be the starter for the rest of his career. Like, Carr could never start again. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. Now, are they all equally as likely to happen? No, obviously not. But when you have a player as high risk, high reward, volatile, however you want to put it, as Spencer Rattler, as talented as he is or can be, and the flashes that we have seen, from what I saw in the preseason with Rattler, he is just as good, if not better, than Bo Nix. he is as good, if not better, than how Caleb Williams played the first couple of games of his career. Caleb Williams looked bad. So the only rookie quarterback who's come in and looked out of this world was Jayden Daniels. And a lot of people before the season would not have expected that. A lot of people before the season said, I don't think Daniels' game is going to translate. With rookie quarterbacks or unknown assets like Spencer Rattler or really any rookie quarterback, you just don't know. You just don't know how they're going to pan out. Ask the Jaguars with Trevor Lawrence. A lot of people said, hey, the Panthers shouldn't take Cam Newton. Jimmy Clausen's right there, right? So Kyler Murray at times looks like the best quarterback in the NFL. Other times he looks bottom 5. Very volatile. Young quarterbacks, dynamic quarterbacks like that, very volatile. A lot of different options of what can happen. For the Saints, I hope we get the best version of Spencer Rattler. I really do. He can do it. I think it's good that Allen announced it because I think the team deserves to know. The team deserves to know what's going on. I think they'd get behind Rattler. There were some rumors that it was Allen versus Kubiak of who wanted who to start. If I know Clint like I know Clint, he wanted Rattler to start, and thank God if that's the situation that he got his way. I have kind of tricked myself into being positive for this. So the betting market before the news was 3. It's ticked. This is pretty much what it was. So the betting market really hasn't moved. A little bit of steam maybe on the Saints might tick back down to 3. So I think this news is viewed positively by the betting market. I think Haener news would have pushed it to 4 maybe, but it looks like this might trickle back down to 3. That would be kind of crazy, but that's a bit much. But I think Rattler gives us a chance to win. That's the best thing you can say about it, is that he gives us a chance to win. I think it was the correct call to have Spencer Rattler start. I 100% think it's the correct call. He should get the start, and I'm rooting for him, obviously. But it's not one of those things where I'm sitting here and I'm saying we don't have a chance. He's going to get crushed. He's not ready. I'm all in. I loved what I saw with Spencer Rattler when he was drafted. I was very happy with the draft pick. I loved what I saw in the preseason. I have no reason to doubt that Spencer Rattler is going to show up and play the game and play at a high level. And I hope he does. He gets 2 strong defenses, facing the Bucs and then facing the Broncos. That is brutal. But it's time. And if you're Spencer Rattler, you pray for moments like this. If you're Spencer Rattler and you leave Oklahoma and you go to South Carolina, you're praying, I hope I get drafted. And then not only does he get drafted, gets drafted here, and boom, all of a sudden he's playing in the NFL. All of a sudden he is playing. He's a 5th-round draft pick, and he is starting the same week that Drake May, the 3rd overall draft pick, is starting. So let's see. Let's see what the kid can do. I'm excited, though. I'm excited. I hope he pops off. I hope he absolutely pops off. And I will be in the dome rooting for him. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comments below what you think. I'll be covering this all week. A lot to talk about. It's Rattler time, baby.